The Tampa Bay Lightning have done it. They are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. The first to do it since the Pittsburgh Penguins did it in 2016 and 2017, and it hadn't been done before that since the Detroit Red Wings in 1997 and 1998. And this Lightning team is just, as I had said in the recapping the Islander episode and previewing the Stanley Cup final with the Canadiens, it's just such a good team. And really, I think the discussion needs to be sort of made. And where do this Lightning team rank with other, I guess, dynasties, if you will, as much as it can be, winning back-to-back. We've seen the Blackhawks win 3 out of 5. The Kings win 2 out of 3. So maybe dynasty isn't the right word, but certainly this Lightning core has been in the mix since the mid-2010s. In fact, even Stamkos and Hedman made a Eastern Conference final appearance in 2011. This has been, I've seen the Rangers face off with these Lightning in 2015, and that was when the Rangers were really at about their peak, and the Lightning were kind of just getting going, certainly as it turns out. And that team is just very impressive. And I'm interested in seeing what they do moving forward. They have some cap problems, and there's going to be some guys that are going to be let go. I'm thinking about, the Blake Colemans of the world, the Barclay Goodrows, who were very effective and key for this team. Make that be very known. But this team is so good in so many different areas that they're going to be, at the very least, very competitive next season. Do I think they'll win again? No, easy answer is just no. You don't see teams win 3 championships in a row these days, which also reminds me, talk about Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay Bucks win the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay Lightning win 2 Stanley Cup championships in a row. And the Tampa Bay Rays made it to the World Series. So Tampa is kind of title town right now. I guess Champa Bay is the nickname. I'm not sure, but it's deserved. It really is. It's impressive. And like I said, very curious to see where it goes from here for the Lightning, because I think they're going to stay right in the mix. It's going to be tough to repeat, but I think that when you have Vasilevsky, who is the Conn Smythe winner, and deservedly so, in net, Victor Hedman, Ryan McDonough, Chernak, Sergachev, if those 4 stay, those 4 defensemen, and who knows what's going to happen? Who do they lose to Seattle? Because they're going to have to expose a good player. One of those defensemen is going to have to be exposed. And who? So, could McDonough be exposed? And, there's a lot of uncertainty moving forward with this team. So, and that kind of needs to be where this is at right now. Where the Lightning go from here, I think, is going to be very key for the rest of the NHL. It's kind of a domino effect. And, someone, maybe they lose an Alex Killorn type of guy or an Andre Palat. They're going to have to lose a few people that are important, but as long as you have the Kucherovs, the Braden Points, Anthony Cirelli, Yanni Gourde, it's just, they're so good. And it just feels like the farm system stays plentiful, that I don't know when we'll see the end of this team. Certainly at some point you're going to hit a point when it's a downturn, but I'm not sure how bad that downturn is going to be. But just really quick, as far as this Stanley Cup final went, Tampa was in control pretty much the whole way. Montreal fought hard, though, but, Game 1, Tampa won decisively 5-1. And Tampa was, definitely the better team in Game 1. Game 2, Montreal gave it a really good shot, but Tampa won it 3-1. And a goal that stands out to me was at the end of the second period. Beautiful goal with, 0.3 left by Blake Coleman on a great pass by Barclay Goodrow. That was a huge goal and kind of a defining moment in this series, because Montreal played really well in Game 2. Game 3, Tampa took it to them pretty much. Easily won 6-3. Game 4, Montreal didn't get swept. And it's funny because I'm not sure if it was some political member in Tampa. I'm not sure if it was the mayor. Might have been the mayor. Had said that they wanted Tampa to, take it easy at Montreal, lose Game 4 Montreal, and come back home and win Game 5, which is exactly what they did. But Montreal was able to win Game 4 in overtime and avoid the sweep. But Tampa took Game 5, 1-0. So Vasilevsky, that's 5 clinching series shutouts in a row. 5 consecutive, of course. And Ross Colton was the one who gets the game-winning goal. It's a new hero every night for this Lightning team. That's what makes them so good, is that you never know who the hero is going to be. And on this night, it was Ross Colton. So, yeah, not a whole lot else to say here. Tampa wins it, wins the cup. I had predicted 6. And I'll admit, I think I had said I would lean more 7 than 5. It ends up being 5. Montreal fought hard, but Tampa was clearly the superior team. And Tampa had faced tougher tests. Certainly, when I look back at it, round 1 against Florida was a good test for them, and Florida gave them everything they had. And then, the Islanders, certainly in the Eastern Conference Final. And if you're an Islander fan, if you had somehow gotten past Tampa, you're probably looking at that's got, if you're an Islander fan, that's got to hurt. On the one hand, you take pride in the fact that, you were able to test this champion, 2 years in a row and, basically push them to the brink a couple of times. On the other hand, it's like, wow, if we had somehow gotten by it, especially this year, you're looking at a cup champion team, and it's tough to, when you get those cracks, you kind of got to push through. So congrats to the Tampa Bay Lightning, Stanley Cup champs back-to-back years, and it's going to make for, an exciting 2022 season. And can this team win 3 in a row? That's going to be a big talking point. And look, I think they're going to make the playoffs. So it's something that I think isn't going to be that interesting during the regular season, but come playoff time, will they be able to turn it up, and what will the roster look like? So, in terms of the Stanley Cup, obviously this is done. And, I think it's nice in hockey to kind of have this Lightning team be, you see with the NBA, and it kind of works where some teams are villains, but you kind of build these dynasties. And so for the Lightning to win sooner, I think it's good for the sport. I actually do. And to see who can kind of get past this Lightning team. But as we move forward here, just from a Ranger perspective, there's a lot of lot of things coming up here with the expansion draft, like I believe 2 weeks away. And so there's going to be a lot of news. It's a shorter off season, so it's going to be a lot of stuff coming out, and I can't wait. And I'll be here to talk all about it as the Rangers off season is going to really begin soon. And I expect them to be fairly active, whether that be in the trade market, whether that be maybe getting some sort of depth help on the free agent market. So we'll see what happens as the new Ranger era begins, and hopefully they can push through and make the playoffs next year so they compete for this cup final. But a lot of work still needs to be done. But again, congrats to the back-to-back champion Tampa Bay Lightning.